I would definitely characterize myself as probably the biggest Bewitched fan known to man.
Welcome to my Bewitched Museum.
Mark is the top fan.
I absolutely love the show.
She's really fanatical about this TV show.
I watch it at least once a day.
I don't see that it's particularly obsessive. I really don't. I've been a Bewitched fan my whole life, basically.
Mark's obsessed with Bewitched.
Welcome to my Bewitched Museum.
Mark is the top fan.
I have a set of towels from Japan.
It's not every day you can meet somebody who can actually quote every line from the show.
Basically, this consists of just about every episode of Bewitched. I mean, I know a lot. I don't know it all. Hi, I'm Mark Simpson, and I am an accounting clerk. I live in Tacoma, Washington, and I'm known as the Bewitched Collector. And I'm the biggest Bewitched fan in the world.
I would definitely characterize myself as probably the biggest Bewitched fan known to man.
Gina's fandom for Bewitched is amazing.
This Samantha doll is very rare. She can fetch up to $3,000.
I felt she was really fanatical about this TV show.
I mean, I absolutely love the show. I watch it at least once a day.
Gina loves the idea of being like a Samantha type.
Well, Bewitched has inspired me to go after my dreams. Hi, my name is Gina Myers, and I'm from Fresno, California. I'm an avid Bewitched fan.
Bewitched was a sitcom which ran from 1964 to 1972 for a total of 8 seasons on ABC.
The show starred Elizabeth Montgomery as Samantha Stevens, the sexy floor-scrubbing, child-rearing house witch, and Darren Stevens played initially by Dick York and later was replaced by Dick Sargent.
I am a witch. A real, house-haunting, broom-riding, cauldron-stirring witch.
It must be the champagne.
And it was about a witch who marries a mortal.
All I want is the normal life of a normal housewife.
It's my fault, Sam. There's no need for you to apologize. I should have known you can't take a beautiful witch in the prime of her life and expect her to hang up her twitch.
It wasn't really about the witchcraft. It was about the relationship between Darren and Samantha and the fact that she only used her witchcraft when there was no other way to rectify the situation.
Oh, dear. Darren, please forgive me, but I'm sure that you'd consider this an emergency. First, the hors d'oeuvres.
Samantha's dilemma was how to separate her marriage from her witchly heritage, and she found it difficult sometimes to live without witchcraft. I don't remember how my passion for the show actually started. It's something I've always loved as far back as I can remember. It dealt with, you know, someone who, in essence, had to be in the closet because there would be repercussions if she, you know, identified herself as a witch. I remember rushing home from school every day at lunchtime to watch the show. And I would watch the same episodes over and over and over and over and over again.
It's not every day you can meet somebody who can actually quote every line from the show.
He asked her out on a date, and so Samantha at the end says, well, I guess Miss Ferndale found herself another bed warmer. Pretty racy for 1970. I think a lot of it is Elizabeth Montgomery. She is like my idol. In some ways, I guess it takes me back to a simpler time, a better time in my life when, you know, I was a kid and I didn't have responsibilities and worries that I have now. My mother used to tease me about, you know, don't you think about anything else?
I've been a Bewitched fan since I was 12. I remember lots of early mornings waking up at 5:45. My grandmother allowing me to use the VCR, which was this wonderful thing to get to record Bewitched. It showed me the family that I'd like to be part of, Coming from a broken family, you don't necessarily want people to know that your parents are divorced. I was able to relate with Samantha for that very reason. She had a secret, and her secret was that she was a witch and that she could not share that with the world because people would make fun of her. Bewitched helped with having a broken family in that I knew that there was always security in reruns. And it's been really a wonderful way to kind of escape and relax and see a happy family on television. It made me wish that there were people like Samantha in this world.
Are you guys gonna have coffee?
I'll have a cup. It's that time of day, Java time. Let me get some cream out of the refrigerator.
I never intended to put together any type of Bewitched household. It's just, it kind of happened.
And Mark contacted me and said, you know, Ross and I would like a roommate, and if you're interested in making a big change, moving to Washington, you're more than welcome. That way you can also enjoy the madness of collecting Bewitched.
Hey, come on up. Welcome to my Bewitched Museum. We decided to paint the room to resemble the opening credits from Bewitched, and Ross suggested we do the ceiling as well, and I was kind of resistant. He just kind of came up here one day and just did it, and when I saw it, it was like, wow. Some unique things. We have a Wheaties box. I have a couple of British annuals, jigsaw puzzles, Bewitched card game, Nick at Night watch, Bewitched cookie jar. I have my collection of mugs, one of two storybooks that was produced as a result of the show, lunch boxes and tins, a set of towels from Japan. If these were to be put on eBay, they'd probably go pretty high because they're pretty rare.
You know, the worst thing about living in the Bewitched house, I would have to say, is having to dust all of the collection.
Comic books, a couple here in the back from Mexico. These are the Samantha paper dolls. Some of the autographs in my collection, which I have matted and framed here on my wall of fame. All of my Bewitched videos and DVDs. Here in this case, I keep some of my more fragile items. This is an original 1965 Ideal Samantha doll. Here I have my Samantha maquette, the Samantha head knocker. This poster is from Japan. Thousands of photos categorized by season. I have a novel which came out during the first season of the show. These are some original ABC network promos. This is my collection of magazines and TV guides. This one is one of my favorites. She was often referred to as the Grace Kelly of television. I probably have one of the largest collections of anybody now. I can't even think about how much time or money I have put into this. A lot. Put it that way.
What do you get somebody who's a Bewitched collector who pretty much has everything Bewitched? So I decided to do some artwork on some of the Bewitched characters.
And here on the wall, I have some original artwork that was done by Ross. He's known as the Bewitched artist. This one in particular is one of my favorites. It's called Nosy Neighbor. And the reason that I like it is because he has really captured Alice Pierce, the first Mrs. Kravitz. This looks amazingly like her. This is my 16mm film collection, and I have so many that I don't have room for them in the house, so I keep them out here in the garage. And basically this consists of just about every episode of Bewitched, and a lot of them are Spanish soundtracks. Some I have are original ABC network prints with the original sponsors and commercials. And I also have a 35mm print of the feature Johnny Cool, in which Elizabeth Montgomery starred with Henry Silva. And it's also the film where she met her husband at the time, William Asher, who was the producer and director of Bewitched.